Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of EVE Echoes. Tonight on the show, I'm going to teach you guys how to fit your own Bellicose Covert Ops Force Recon cruiser. It's one of the best, if not the best, Force Recon cruisers out there, of course, aside from the Arbitrator Covert Ops, which is actually good for PvE as well, but not so good for PvP, as in going solo, because, you know, drones get popped out of the sky pretty easily, and suddenly you're without your weapons, your main weapons of choice. Oh, there's a little battery. We'll have to move quickly then. So the Bellicose Covert Ops is, as I mentioned, probably the best Covert Ops Force Recon cruisers out there because of its speed and because of the bonuses that it has. And of course, this is going to be mainly a PvP fit, and I'm trying to tell you guys all about how to fit it, depending on what you actually want to engage. Now remember, when you go for PvP, if you're trying to go solo, even if you try to go with a group, you want to understand, actually you want to set a specific target, a specific goal, a mindset, a mission, if you'd like to call it that way. What is exactly that you're going to be after? You're going to hunt miners? Are you going to hunt PvE ships? Are you going to gate camp? Are you going to whatever? You get the point. This basically dictates how you want to fit your ship. It pretty much generates a skeleton, should generate a skeleton in your mind on what exactly the slot loadout should look like. We've got a couple of fits that we can test here in the fitting screen, and I'd like to give some pointers on when to go with what items and when to go with what items best. Before we start taking a look at the fits themselves, let's take a look at the role bonuses and what the ship provides us with. By default, we've got the Covert Ops cloaking device as a role bonus, of course. Advanced micro warp drive operation bonus per level, 7.5% target painter effects. Micro warp drive operation, target painter. What the fuck? Would have been best to have these under, I don't know, a banner of like the E-War. If you get like an E-War skill in some specific level, you get these bonuses. You get these bonuses by having the micro warp drive operation. I don't know why they have been paired this way. It's not the ideal pairing, but nonetheless, be sure to train that micro warp drive operation, the advanced micro warp drive operation, because you'll get also minus 10% warp drive signature radius penalty. So per level, your signature radius is going to decrease considerably having the micro warp drive active. Now, the one thing you need to understand with the Covert Ops cruisers, they have a very low signature radius, comparable to the signature radius of a destroyer. If you'd like to have a good comparison item. Meaning it's going to be pretty hard to hit if you go at it using the proper speed and, you know, the proper tactics. But as in other cases where you can fit afterburners on cruisers to benefit from, like in the Arbitrator Covert Ops, to benefit from that low signature radius, you can actually fit a micro warp drive on the Bellicose because the penalty is going to be reduced using this bonus right here. Moving on to Advanced Cruiser Command bonus per level, get 4% signature radius decrease. Again, more signature radius decrease. 5% medium missile torpedo velocity, 8% medium missile torpedo damage, which is a good hefty damage and range using torpedoes or rapids, or either way in the category of medium missiles. As the overall defense, you got by default like 11,000, close to 11,600 effective 8 points, flight velocity of 296 meters per second, power grid output, blah blah blah, capacitor and cargo hold capacity. Resistance is comparable to EVE Online Force Recon. They're crappy. That's why I'm really upset about the Force Recon ships. Actually, all the advanced ships in EVE Echoes are not comparable to the ships in the advanced ships in EVE Online, because the advanced ships in EVE Online you have to train hard, train a lot in order to get to them. Here you can access them as you progress through the tech tree, and it's it's pretty easy to get to fly it as you get by default to tech level 7. Why is this justified in EVE Echoes? Because having these ships, these advanced ships with resistances big, might be problematic because everyone has access to them and doesn't need to train that much in order to fly them. So resistances are pretty much the same as any cruisers, where shield resistance is 0 electromagnetic, 20% on thermal, 40% kinetic, and 50% on explosive. And we can get into the information on the attributes. We get 3,651 shield HP with 3,250 armor and just close to 3,000 structure. So let's get on to the fit and what I have prepared for you guys today. Basic fit for dealing with retrievers or stuff like you want to come real close and you want to deal with them is by having, of course, a new module. We're going to start with the mid slots. Having the new module, the Warp Scrambler, I would recommend having the Interruptive, or what's the one that gives you 5 jamming strength. That's the one you'll probably aim for the ship. This is a bad example of a Mark V Warp Scrambler, but it's going to serve its purpose. I have Warp Jammer Strength 3, which is pretty nice. Now, having 5 is even better, because you can keep stuff with natural warp stability increases and bonuses. You can hold them in place because they rely on those bonuses, like, nobody's going to catch me with the Disruptor. Guess what? Warp Scrambler. So having increased warp jamming strength is a must. The other slots are going to be a target painter, because we're going to be using this a lot. We're going to be using it to deal lots of damage to tiny ships, of course. The last mid slot is going to be a stasis web. You can also fit this using a disruptor, but only when you're going to go in a gang, in a small gang, in a fleet with, you guessed it right, bombers. Why is this good for bombers? Well, you're gonna get one disruptor, and it probably could fit another target painter, so have 2 target painters just to apply maximum increase in signature radius for the victim, in order for those torpedoes to hit home properly. And that's, of course, justified because we have on the high slots torpedoes. Republic Fleet Medium Torpedo Launcher, 76.28 damage per second. And as you can see, we have 4 of these, and the total missile DPS output is 305 DPS, with 29 DPS in just a small, medium drone, sorry. Now, the low slot is pretty much debatable on what exactly you want to figure. The fact that you don't have any Energy Nosferatus, I'd go for like a buffer tank. Now, it's understandable if you don't want to fit resistances, but I would arguably try to tell you that you should put some resistances. So, the first low slot is a medium shield extender. We're gonna get some decent shield HP, which is by default 2,000 shield increase as a passive resistance, passive bonus, and upon activation we gain additional 2,000 shield, which is an extension, a shield bar. It goes away after the activation ends. You don't get left with any of that bonus on your shield bar. The next low slot is going to be a medium micro warp drive. Of course, we got bonuses for using micro warp drive, so why wouldn't we use a micro warp drive instead of an afterburner? Of course, you can also fit it without an afterburner in, I don't know, some specific situations, like maybe you try to use this in low sec, but in null sec, at least, using micro warp drive is ideal, because if you run into a gate camp, your only chance is to either get out of the bubble and cloak, so you don't get caught, or try to reapproach the gate. Now, you can't do that with an afterburner, even though you're running at 1 km per second. This fit with the micro warp drive runs you at 2 km per second. You cross that distance very short, you minimize the damage, and you jump back and you get the hell out of Dodge. The last low slot is a covert ops cloaking device. Of course, we do need this because we have bonuses to use it, and we're going to. The only detriment on the covert ops cruisers is that the sensor recalibration is 15 seconds. 15 seconds in which, after you decloak, you cannot target anything. That's poop. In EVE Online, that's around 6 seconds. And here, it's actually unbearable to just sit there and you can't lock anything, and your victims just warp away. So my best advice regarding this and how to catch stuff like retrievers and such, try to scout the belt first, notice where things are, and then try to come back and decloak mid-warp. So when you land, you can immediately target your victim and activate Warp Scrambler and try to get that thing down fast, because that's the main purpose of the ship. Get your victim down, loot whatever, and get the fuck out. You don't want to spend too much time, especially if you're hunting on some other people's systems. They might get reinforcements, or if there's somebody doing PvE, they might just come after you. So you want to take that down fast, and you get out of there. Just hit and run tactics. This is what Force Recons are built for. Now, the last low slot that I kept for last, of course, is debatable. You can go with another medium shield extender, but I recommend not to. Why? Because in a fight, you'll probably be either energy neutered or energy Nosferatu. You'll get that passive of 2000 shield HP, but if you have no electromagnetic resistances or any resistances whatsoever, your tank, even if it's a buffer, it's going to melt pretty fast, and you really want to have some resistances. Now, you can fit those in the rig slots, but we'll go over there as well. I'd really recommend using an invulnerability field. It's really helpful. It will be recommended to have, like, of course, a storyline or faction module, but this works either way. I got better resistances. I actually have better effective hit points by using one extender and one invulnerability field than having two shield extenders and no resistances at all. I have way more survivability using this fit, at least in my opinion. If you think otherwise, please feel free to point it out in the comments and give an argument, try to do a comparison, and we can talk on it. Now, for the low slot, for the rig slot, we have some interesting fits here, and of course, everything here, you can pretty much think it yourself, depending on what you want to achieve with this ship. But I went on for an extender rig, because we have an extender module, so might benefit from adding another bonus. By the way, these bonuses don't get penalty, because it's not the same module. It's not the same module type, so you get penalty when you fit the same module type, like multiple invulnerability fields. Yeah, those will get you penalty in the bonuses that they give. Having a rig and an extender is actually beneficial. So, the core defense field extender gives us additional 20% shield, which is awesome. We got another shield rig, which is an anti-electromagnetic screen reinforcer. I'd recommend you going with the Mark II. I went with the Mark I because that's what I found with my level of wallet deficiencies. And of course, the last combat rig is a Warhead Calfaction Catalyst to deal increased damage. This is very good in my opinion. You can go with another, you can get rid of the anti-electromagnetic screen reinforcer and fit another the core defense field extender, but remember, you'll have a penalty. You're not going to get 20% of the second extender rig. You're going to get something like with diminished returns. And on the engineering, I did not manage to find the proper rigs where I'm sitting right now. So I only have one polycarbon engine housing, and it's going to give me an inertia modifier adjustments, meaning I'll be able to have an increased agility, like move left and right faster. I would argue that the other 2 slots be used are for the auxiliary thrusters. I have 1 auxiliary thruster, and I don't know, the other one may be a warp stabilization just for you to get out of shitty situations, or maybe just a capacitor rig, I don't know. But the polycarbon engine housing and the auxiliary thrusters are a must. You need those to help you get speed, to help you maneuver around stuff fast, because you'll need to take down your victim and just go away. Of course, helps you with running into game camps, have more speed, you can use that to reapproach the gate, so on and so forth. Now, this is the standard fit that I imagined using torpedoes and warp scramblers. Let's see what we get if we try to put rapid missiles here. So we're going to be fitting, here we are, Challenger, and come on, mate. We got 1 more to fit. Okay, be sure to keep in mind that the rapid medium missile launchers are going to get nerfed soon. So right now in the offense, we're sitting at a lower DPS, but we have an increased damage when it comes to frigates. And the other fit that might interest you is using the normal medium missile launchers. So when you fit those, we'll get to see some decent damage, higher, if I'm not mistaken, than the rapids, but lower than the torpedoes. Oh, it's actually crappier. We get 245 DPS with the medium launchers. But you can deal considerable damage to cruisers and stuff and above. And this might be interesting when you try to go with your bomber bar shenanigans with the gang. But maybe if you want to keep range and fit a disruptor instead of that scrambler, if you're going with a group and you want to shoot from a range and make yourself more survivable, because you'll probably be the FC and a bomber bar, because your ship is mostly going to coordinate stuff and the bombers are going to strike. But I really argue that the best fit right now is the torpedo fit. Torpedo fit, that gives you quite a lot of DPS. Using the target painter, no sweat applying damage to any kind of target. You have the power to shut down enemy micro-warp drives using your own scrambler, and of course you also have a web. So anything that comes in close is pretty much going to get nuked, even if it moves fast. Web is going to affect afterburner, micro-warp drive is going to be affected by the warp scrambler, and that's pretty much it. This is how you should fit your Bellicose Covert ops. Again, you need to think exactly what you want to achieve with this ship, and think accordingly on the items that you're going to put on high, low, and mid slot, which is a basic rule of thumb when you try to fit any PvP ship. Pretty happy about having it, and we're going to take it out for a spin. We'll probably see some PvP content, some PvP videos soon enough, once I manage to get this baby completely fitted. Thank you guys for watching. Very big shout out to my channel supporters. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.